Hey guys, working on a little project today in the shop and thought I'd bring you along. This is a Honda SL70 K1, very similar to the K0, essentially the same bike. They changed the decals a little bit. The tail lights got a different tail light and bracket than the K0. I think the K1 might have come standard with a speedometer and a horn, where those might have been optional items on a K0. Not a SL70 expert by any means. But anyway. So a year or so ago, I pulled the original engine out of this bike that had some transmission problems and was, going to fix the thing, and then wound up having some other technical difficulties and with some tools and so forth. Anyway, in the interim, I wound up putting a Lifan 125 in it just so I could ride the thing. And I took it, so I put it in there. I took this bike home and have had it at my house. And it's what I use for buzzing around my neighborhood and so forth. But when I put this engine in, I just did the very simple wiring harness. And I didn't hook up any lights. Well, running around the neighborhood and it's getting kind of dark and so forth, I decided, you know what, I probably ought to have lights on this thing. I'm trying to take the seat off. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the TB515, the 12 volt simple harness from Trail Buddy. And they actually designed this to go on a CT70 K0 that doesn't have turn signals. So it's a really simple harness. It just runs headlight and tail light and brake lights. Well, this bike doesn't have turn signals either, so this harness should work just fine. This bike, I don't know if it's showing up in the video there, but it's got a broken lens. So we need to swap it to a 12 volt. So I went to TB Parts and just picked up a whole brand new unit. And I'm sure that's a 6 volt bulb in there. So got a 12 volt bulb. I've got some speedometer bulbs and a tail light bulb that we'll swap. Got the harness. It's already got a 12 volt coil and a CDI in it, because it already runs and rides. But I'm not a real big fan of the red spark plug wire, so I've got a different coil with a black one that will blend in a little bit better. And then I never put a filter on this. I've been running it without any kind of filter, so I picked up a little pod filter that will fit on that. So that's today's project. So oh, there it goes. First, I gotta get the seat off of the thing. Where am I gonna stack these parts? Get them out of our way. I want to take the seat and the tank off. So that we can get to what's holding me up here. I must have something on the other side. I've already disconnected the fuel line, try and speed things up a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna try and use the original key. I left the coil. Look, I'm seeing things and I'm starting to remember what I did, then. Apparently I left the original coil in the bike and just the spark plug wire hit it along through there. I wonder if I want to go ahead and leave that, because I'm probably not going to mount it there anyway. So anyway, I'm going to take a few minutes and get this all stripped down. Get it all stripped down, get it ready, and when I'm ready to kind of start going back together with it, then I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, so I've got the bike somewhat stripped down. Here are the parts this is what I took off of it. This is the very, very simple harness that it had. The coil, plug wire, CDI plugged in there. That just went to ground. 3 wires to the engine. And then that was a kill switch. And that's all it really takes to allow the bike to run. Back, okay, there we go. I also went ahead and took off the original wiring harness. It's in really good shape, so I'll tag it and box it up with the engine that I have. Went ahead and took off the original coil and the original headlight bucket, even though it's missing the glass. So I think we're ready to go together, but before I go together, I want to test a few things and make sure they're working. We want to test the brake light switch. I want to test the brake light itself, make sure the housing is good. The key switch and some of the like the horn button up here and the kill switch and the high-low switch. I want to test some of those. All right, I'm gonna make a little noise here. I gotta scoot this stand. So sorry about that. I think the first thing we're gonna do is test the tail light, and let's just make sure that the tail light socket is working. I'm gonna plug in just a little battery charger. Let's see, let's grab our 12-volt bulb. I already took out the bottom 2 screws just to kind of speed some things up. It's stuck to the gasket. All right, you're gonna stick to the housing or stick to the light? You're going to stick to the light. Okay, that's cool. Save that. Take out this old dirty. Oh wow, maybe we'll take that out. Wow, that bulb is really stuck in there. I'm gonna have to break it and dig it out. Wow. Okay, I hate to shut you down, but I'm gonna shut you down. I'm just gonna have to break the bulb off, take a pair of needle nose pliers and dig the little metal housing out. It's so stuck and corroded in there. I can't get it out. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, it was in there pretty good. I wound up having to take the glass off and then just taking a pair of needle nose and twisting that out. It is pretty dirty. Feels pretty good. Let's see what happens. See if we get the light up. All right, turn my battery charger to 12 volt. I've got 3 taillight wires sticking up out of the fender. There's a solid green that is the ground that we will hook the ground of the battery charger to it. And then that leaves us a solid brown for a tail light or a running light. Yeah, and then the green with the yellow stripe is the brake light. So this should be a little brighter. Perfect. All right, so the tail light works. So that's cool. So we can we gotta hit the hole. Oh yeah, come on, Mike. There we go. All right. I'll get the other two later. Let's move to the brake switch itself. And what I'm looking at is this unit right here. It's got a little plunger that pulls down out of it. It's hooked to a spring, which is hooked to the brake pedal. So as you pull the brake pedal, it pulls the little plunger down. The little plunger comes down, makes contact, and then completes the loop. You got two wires. You got power coming in. With the pedal up, power stops. As you push the pedal down, it pulls down on that plunger. It has two contacts, make connection, which then sends the power on out to the brake lights. So basically we want to check continuity on that. All right, let's see if you guys are, can you see the, nope, you can't see the monitor. Oh, and it's got a glare on it, so you can't see it anyway. Now you can see it. Okay, so right now, with no pressure on the brake pedal, we should not get a reading. Oh, but we do. So the brake switch probably needs adjusted. And gosh, can't get everything in the screen all at one time. And I got the Kickstarter in the way. But this is threaded and just got to unscrew it. No, I need to screw it down. Raising it just makes the connection, so we need to screw it down a little bit. Now let's retry this again. Do we still have a... Okay, no continuity now. And then when we hit the brake pedal, now you can see it change, the screen changes number. So, all right, so our brake switch is good. So that's good. So we're good here on the back end. Let's move to the key switch. And I found an old hacked up wiring harness, probably from a CT70 that had been mouse chewed and torn up, and I just cut the key plug and removed the excess wires out of the plug, so we don't have a bunch of wires sticking out we don't need. Now I have a video that goes in detail on what wires you need. So if you go back and look at using an original switch for a 12-volt system, you can see that, and I kind of go through it. But we'll go through it real quick. Let's put the key in the off position. Now in the off position, we need continuity between the green wire and the black wire, and we do. Okay, that shuts the bike down, that grounds out the CDI. in the first key position. All right, so no continuity, the bike will run. Second key position, no continuity, the bike will run. Okay. Now, so in the first position, the way the key switch works, you got off, you got run with no lights, and then the second position is run with lights. So I've got it in the run with no lights. The lights are the yellow and the red and brown. So, right, well, let's just go ahead and move it to off. I don't think we've got any continuity in off. It's not going to matter because the bike's not running. All right, so nothing there. Nothing there. So now the bike's running, but you're not sending any power to your headlights. And then when you move it to the second position, bike's still running, and now you're sending power up to the headlights. So that's what we'll do for the key switch. And after we open this up, then we will look and see what kind of connections we need to make to hook this to the harness. Okay, let's move up to the headlight. We've got a few things to check out up here. Okay, where am I going to set the meter so that you guys can see it? And it's just nice to go through these things and get this all lined out so that you know you're ready when you go to plug everything in. I bet you're not going to be able to. Now you can see that. Okay. I don't know if it'll stay there or not. All right, so the first thing we're going to check is the horn button, which is right up. Yeah, you guys, I think you can see that right up here on the left handlebar. Don't fall off. The horn button is this little gray wire that has a little green tracer thing on it. All right, we need to put one of our leads to ground. Let's try that right there in the handle or in the mirror holder. All right, so we put this to the horn button. We should not get a reading. We don't. Now, when I push the horn button, that should change. It does. All right, so our horn button is functional. Yeah, that works. All right. Let's try our kill switch. The kill switch. I'll tell you what. Let's do something else first. Let's try the front brake switch that's in the brake lever up here. Yeah, you're looking at that. So that is the black wire. Power's going up the black wire to the switch, just like it does the rear brake switch. It stops up there until you pull the lever itself. So we got a black wire and a green with a yellow one, and we should not have anything. We don't. Now, how am I going to hold that? And I need some, what I need is like alligator clips on the ends of these things. Somebody remind me to set that up with alligator clips. I don't think I've got these touching. Oh, okay, so the switch works because I moved the lever and now, okay. There it's off. I pull the lever and now we've got a reading and it went back off. So if you go off real slow, the lever gets stuck. It doesn't go forward enough. But if you let off, there he goes. So the front brake switch works. That's good. All right, so we've got a kill switch up here. That's fine. That's a black and white wire. All right, so we need to put one back to ground up here. And grab our black and white wire. We should not Yeah, it's in the run position. We should not have continuity, which we do not. Hold those wires together. Okay, so no continuity. Now if I go to kill, it should get a reading. It does. All right, let's go back, and there's 2 kill setting, 1 in each direction. Let's go the other way. Okay, good. So our kill switch works. Last thing we need to check is the high-low switch for the headlight. The headlights are turned on and off with the key, so all you have is a high-low switch up here. Okay, looks like to the right is high beam. All right, so we need to check continuity. There is in the same bundle that had the kill switch wires, there is a red and a brown, and there is a blue. Let me get the blue one first here. Okay, so I've got one lead on the blue. There's, oh, okay, so, well, I must not, there it is. So the high beam switch works. So now if we switch it to low beam, and we go the blue and the red and red, we should not get a reading, but we should now get a reading when we go to the white wire. Uh-oh. We've got a problem. Huh. Where'd the white wire go? There it is. Oh, my meter's gonna fall off the front of that fender. Okay, so we've got an issue we've got to look into. We're not getting any continuity between the power feed wire up to the high-low switch and coming back down the white wire for the low beam. Let's just try hitting that with some WD-40 first. We may just have a dirty connection in there. Let's try it again. All right, so we need white, oh, don't fall, and the red and the brown. Still nothing. Okay, well, we're going to have to pull that switch apart and see what's going on, unless we just want to run it with high beams. But if we're going to do this, we might as well do it, get it fixed right, huh? Nope, doesn't work. So I think I'll go ahead and get everything else buttoned up, and then toward the end we will take a look at that and see what's going on with that high-low switch. All right, I think we've come to the time we're ready to open up the package for our wiring harness. Comes from Trail Buddy. I can't remember. Seems like it was $50 or $60, something like that. And I'm not going to do it on camera, but it comes with this really big, bulky, protector wrap thing. I take all that off of there, so I'll do that off camera. But what I wanted to do was go through and make sure and check all my connections and make sure they are the right ends and are compatible with plugging it onto the bike. So one of the first things I want to check is my coil. I got a 2-wire coil, and I've got the it's two 2 males and 2 females. So we're good there. The coil's good. Should not be any problem with the CDI. Oh, I haven't grabbed a voltage regulator yet, but that'll plug in there. All right, my tail light wires all are female in the harness, and they are all male on the bike, so we're good there. My brake lights, my rear brake light switch, this has 2 females. All right, we got to make a change. So these are the 2 wires for the rear brake light switch. And as you can see, I've got 2 bullet connectors that are 2 females. And the bike has 1 male and 1 female. So I'll have to make a, I'll have to make a different connector. I'll do it on the harness, not on the switch itself. So we've got that change we have to make. This is all the wires that go to the engine, and I'll double check those. Basically everything is male here with the exception of the ground and the neutral indicator. Ground and neutral indicator. I'm gonna have to make some changes here because everything is female over here on the bike. So I'll need to change and get everything all the same there. These 2 are wrong. We won't worry about the headlight bucket until we get up there. And then I've got to find a connector in my stash of used parts that will plug onto this, that I can put on that key switch. So that's what I'm going to do next. Well, guys, at this point in the video, I need to apologize. I had really hoped today that I would get this wiring harness installed in this bike, and this would just be a 1 video shoot on this bike, and we'll be done. But we're gonna have 2 parts because I'm out of time today. I did a few things that were a little more time consuming than I anticipated. I made a little bracket to hold the coil. After I got looking at it, and there was no real good place to mount the coil, so I'm going to I made this little bracket that will come off of the tab. I can bolt this to the tab on the battery box where it held the rectifier before, and then the coil will mount to that. So that took a little time, making a harness to fit the key switch so that I can plug it in, changing some of the ends, and making jumper wires and doing some things like that. Just got a little more time consuming than what I anticipated, and I have something I have to go do today, and my time is up. So I apologize, but we're gonna have part 2. So hope you enjoyed this first part of this video of gonna put this wiring harness in this SL70, but we will have to finish it in a couple days. So guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.